Thank you very much, Shucks. Finally, we are getting ready for the first game in this best of 5 series. It's the winners match, it's the kings match, it's the upper bracket thingy, it's a semifinal, whatever you want to call it. Rogue and Fnatic are playing a best of 5, and that's freaking cool. So let's talk about it a little bit. What are we checking out? Yesterday was a mess, let's be honest. A hot mess, good for G2, but a hot disaster. I feel like today's series a little bit more contentious, a little bit closer in our estimation.
Well, I mean, I think that there's a lot that we don't know, right? I think both teams didn't really show a huge amount. I think that both teams have been kind of saving their strategies, and I'm really excited. But you know what? It's time for the music.
Oh, yeah.
So let's get into the draft, shall we? They can hear you.
No, every time. I thought they would do this.
Kind of killed the hype there. So let's bring it back, gents. We're jumping into draft for game 1.
It's also draft, so maybe we'll hold on to the hype until the game begins. But we're excited nonetheless. Now, immediately, we are going to see the Viego banned away. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few jungle champions hit the bench, as Malrang has been a man of limited but effective proficiency from what we've seen on stage so far.
LeBlanc.
Target bans Hecarim maybe as well.
There it is. Rogue evolving from where G2 could not. They're going to remove Humanoid's champion, which means that he hasn't played anything else so far in playoffs, so he's going to bring us something new today.
This is where the draft will really kind of unfold itself a little bit on the first pick, because if Rogue ban Hecarim, they can first pick Volibear or Lee Sin, they can go for a jungler. Fnatic could ban away Hecarim themselves, Aphelios taken away, Ryze is still open, which could be a first pick for both these teams, so I think that's what we're kind of looking at for first picks right now.
And frankly, I'm just excited because we're going to see new ground. The entire Fnatic series was which counter for LeBlanc is going to work this time. And now we're going to get something a little bit different in the mid lane. We're going to see a different look for both of these players overall. And as predicted, Hecarim now banned away. See if the Volibear or the Jarvan, maybe it's going to be the early priority from Rogue, but very limited AD
Jinx
pool right now. So Jinx a very good call out.
Yeah, Jinx could be good. I mean, there is answers. You still got Xayah open, which is kind of like one of the AD carries, which is picked often. Fnatic, I believe, Upset played it twice. The ADC Xayah, we saw Ruler play it today in the LCK finals. That could be an easy 1-2 for them. Jayce, I didn't expect Fnatic to be the team that early rotates Jayce this early on to the draft. I thought it would be more of like a later on pick for Fnatic, but still showing a lot of confidence already, playing towards Wunder. I mean, he has got a lot of Jayce games to split.
You're looking at a Camille answer potentially from Odoamne, but the question is, do they even want to prioritize? Obviously, this is something that Rogue love in terms of a safe blind. The Gnar is something that they could also answer with if they want just them safe up towards the top side to try and match it. A lot of options, but Rogue are actually prioritizing their mid laner.
Wow.
They're going to get Larssen on his 5th unique champion so far in playoffs. Obviously a very well-known Viktor player, played it a lot during the regular season, definitely a big comfort champion for him, but to see such high priority on the Arcane draft that we haven't really seen much for a while, but during the regular season, this was the go-to for Rogue and was very consistent.
Yeah, no, the Arcane special, but what I was going to say is it's interesting how metas kind of are so much different in regions, right? If this was the LCK, they would want to an Ahri. They would look for an early Ryze rotation. They'll be completely different mid-priorities, but now we've got a Viktor locked in. Maybe a Humanoid wants to go for Orianna or Azir, some kind of mage. With Ryze being open, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for that, because then you can move towards top and get this Jayce ahead in a winning matchup. But we'll see what they do. I mean, yeah, picking Xayah makes the most sense, of course, as well, because otherwise you're just going to get pinched on your AD pool, you know? They can ban away Xayah, they can ban away things like Jhin, and then you're kind of pushed down on your AD champions.
And we see now the lethality. Xayah can take control of the lane early on. Very impressive with the feathers, and especially with a few items under her belt, even if she doesn't really fit the more traditional hyper carry role. That said, see what the bans are going to be. Very easy to target Malrang now, as there's a discrepancy in the pick ban. AD jungle top on one side, AD mid top on the other.
Yeah, Jarvan already taken away, expecting some kind of Lee Sin perhaps as well. Some kind of thing that some kind of champion that can impact the early game.
Yeah, I mean, so far in playoffs, all we've seen Malrang play is the Jarvan and the Volibear, so we're going to be something unique from him. Obviously, during the regular season, he played a wide array of different champions, including things like the Xayah. We know that he's also a prominent Lee Sin player.
Trundle.
Yeah, there's all kind of options for him, so I'm not too worried about his actual jungle pool. I do expect Rogue to actually ban away supports right now. Yeah, and there's the first one, the Norless, going to be taken off the board. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Rakan also removed, just to deny both the Xayah Rakan and also its Hylissang. One of his most well-known champions is that Rakan. So just limiting that pool, and I think that when you run the Jinx, you actually have a lot of flexibility. You can go for the more aggressive engagement with Leona if you want to, or you can go for something like a Lulu. We've seen both be very effective depending on what your comp wants, so I don't think that Trymbi's too concerned about the role being pinched.
You are completely right, Vedius. There's a channel ban coming in to stop any early game impact, as well into the Volibear as well. Fnatic, what we're looking at here is a last pick support. So I think they're just going to ban. With the Rakan ban coming in here, I think Fnatic will last pick their support to get a counter. Rogue could kind of play a guessing game and say, we know you're going to pick mid on 4 because we've already shown Viktor. We're going to leave it up. And then maybe they want to take it away because Trymbi's been so good on Rakan as well, I think, throughout the entire split. We'll see what they opt to do. I think Rakan is the no-brainer ban. Takes away the Xayah. Oh, they have called the bluff. So banned away Ahri, targeted mid pick. Fnatic have the option here to pick away Rakan or counter pick support. We'll see what they do.
Yeah. Ooh, we're going full scaling.
We're going full poke.
It seems, yeah. A lot of poke coming out with the Corki plus the Jayce. I was also thinking about the Renata, something that has actually been banned a surprising amount here in Europe, and it's something that Hylissang has often defaulted to should they need that type of range support. Often very good into engaged champions against this pretty long range comp so far. Not sure how effective it would be or how much of a strong option that they would even consider it, but I think it very much depends on how Rogue want to round their draft out.
Yeah, I think Renata for Fnatic would be fantastic. Rakan as well. This last pick from Trymbi will spell it all. They could go for a really hard engage, something like Alistar. Brown for the blind pick would be very dangerous when Rakan's open. Engage is what they need. Something that can go in. Alistar, yep. Leona is perfect. But then on the other side for Fnatic, Brown could work pretty well if they do decide to go for Leona. But they've gone for Lulu, so what's Hilly gonna go for? Pyke?
Pyke. Bold decision. Easy to just immediately polymorph the Pyke as it goes in, but we'll see what the final option could be. Do like Lulu into a composition that's only real forward engage option is a Volibear, who's gonna run at you and get polymorphs pretty much every single time.
It's interesting how the metas are different in bot as well. Caitlyn's still open. Lux, Karma haven't been touched.
Oh,
but that's a Pyke, baby. Hilly Pyke, game 1, Halo Blades. He's gonna sit in the bush and he's gonna hook them every wave.
The only bad news is I don't think gets Ashen Pyke.
He doesn't get Ashen Pyke. There will be no Hylissang the Abyss Walker today. Whatever Souls game you want to reference for that one. It's ultimately, that is a disappointment. That said, 2 very explosive compositions. Rogue, I think, very well-rounded overall. Things we're very used to seeing. Save blind pick top laner for Odoamne. Obviously was picked into the Jayce, so not entirely blind. Larssen, Viktor, very standard. Opposite side, a lot of poke, and some of these niche picks like the Pyke.
You're completely right, Drakos. So we've got 2 very obvious comps here. One has a lot of teamfight, one has a lot of poke. Both have decent side laners in Jayce and Gnar, depending on who's ahead. But Fnatic have this wildcard factor in the Pyke. Doesn't provide much in the poke, but can find really easy picks with Volibear. So jungle support will be so important. Fnatic have all the options to go in whenever they want with the Volibear Pyke. Look for early dives towards the top perhaps as well. And if they get Baron, we might see Hylissang split pushing on Pyke.
I will also say that Rogue's engage, not the strongest. They do have some engage options at their disposal, but in terms of actually getting a fight, especially against things like Xayah, Corki, the extra movement speed, there's a Pyke in there as well. There's a lot of mobility and obnoxious skills that is going to be difficult for Rogue to actually lock down. So even though they do have a pretty traditional front-to-back team fight, I think it's important that they can get to the objective first, force Fnatic to come into them, and so that Fnatic can't get on that objective, leverage their poke, and then Rogue struggle to find that good engage.
Yeah, and if they have vision on the objective as well, they can land the poke, right? So they need to make sure that they are there first to punish it.
Time for Rogue versus Fnatic, game 1. A bit of a delay, but here we are finally on to Summoner's Rift. 2 very exciting compositions, but for now a very exciting level 1. If you've watched Hylissang Pyke ever, you know that more often than not, it is a level 1 play that decides the game, and this could be it here. Quick flash out from Trymbi is going to make the lane phase so much harder.
Very creative. What they do is they put the Volibear over the wall, starts E because that's very good for his clear, E over the wall to land the slow, which is quite a lot, level 1. I don't know the exact amount, but still a lot of slow, and then they'll follow up afterwards. So if you don't flash the initial slow, you will die.
That to me seems like how do I describe it? Like a choreographed or like well-prepped play, in that often Rogue do this line of scrimmage start. They're not super creative in the level 1. Sometimes they'll push bot or push top to get that deep ward, but more often than not, they will take this standard default approach, and Fnatic reads that and then looks to try and punish it. Already getting the flash out from Trymbi. Don't be surprised if we see an early gank bot, especially with Hylissang on this Pyke.
And this right here is quintessential Fnatic, and most importantly, quintessential Hylissang on Pyke. Controlling this brush in the early game is everything. A cheeky hook at level 1 with Hail of Blades will instantly win you the lane, and it's that much easier to hit when the enemy support does not have flash. Early levels is so crucial for Fnatic if they want to pull ahead.
Yeah, I think both side lanes is where we're going to have our eyes on. Jayce versus Gnar needs to trade a lot for the Jayce to get the push, and bot lane, like you said, no flash Lulu with the Pyke. One thing I want to just hit on quickly before we watch those side lanes, Malrang. Blue smite Larssen with first strike again. Always seems to favor this rune, as Hilly's going for the first.
Hook is going to connect. Big early damage getting traded onto comp. You see the feathers following up. No level 2 for upset means it's not totally devastating, but a positive early trade for Fnatic.
That's only the beginning. Hylissang is going to continue holding this bush, has his passives regen up. When the wave crashes like this, he's going to go again.
One more hook. He is going to connect again onto Comp. Trymbi not body blocking that time. Comp burning. Are they going to flash for the auto? Does not look like it, but Comp losing all pressure in this lane.
And look at Razork's pathing as well. He's pathing down. Malrang is doing the same. Is the hook going to land again? Just about misses on Trymbi. They have no ignite, but Comp has no heal. Combat summon is used. The wave will crash. No dive just yet.
Unsurprisingly, Hylissang looking to dominate the lane very early on into the game. When we think about Fnatic as a team, they have become very bot-side focused in recent weeks. Of course, many eyes are immediately drawn to Humanoid and his performance on LeBlanc. It was very impactful last week, but it's very difficult to ignore the consistency and aggression that you often see from Upset and Hylissang as a duo.
Viktor into Corki, a matchup we saw a lot at the start of early spring in the LPL especially. Viktor always having the push, always winning out on the trades. I remember games where FLICKR would get solo kill against Gory and things like this, or in the LEC, I can't remember exactly who it was against, closer maybe in the LPL. Xiaohu was getting solo kills with it as well, so very dangerous matchup, level 1 to 3, level 4, but after the first base it should be okay.
Well, on the top side, Odoamne and the Mega Gnar form does do a lot of damage. Razork going for the easy stun. A little bit of follow-up from Humanoid, but too big of a wave for him really to respond. Gravity field thrown down just to deny any further follow-up.
Yeah, it's a good chunk though. Forces Larssen to back, means Humanoid can catch his wave safely.
Interesting choice from Larssen though, because he did see Razork on that wave, but chose to overextend on purpose to make sure that the wave doesn't get frozen underneath this tower. He sacrificed his HP knowing that he wouldn't die in the 1v1 to Razork, and if Humanoid commits, he's going to lose a lot of farm. So I respect the decision making there from Larssen. Will of course expend that TP, but just a trade in the mid lane for now.
Look at where Hylissang is.
Hook is going to go in on a Trymbi. Quick stun for the fall. They know he has no flash from the level 1 player. Are they going to pitch for a second kill here? Hylissang ignited. First blood going to Rogue. That's big. Still a 1-for-1, but the extra money going to the back pocket of Comp.
Important to remember that early on, this Pyke's still very squishy, and with Comp basically not being the target focus, he was able to free hit onto Hylissang throughout that entire exchange, lands the good traps to set up for the damage, and Trymbi just buys enough time to allow Comp to secure first blood.
Yeah, I have to say that's in Rogue's favor, of course. Comp not really pushed off this wave either. Razork doesn't have the tempo on the map to actually push him away from this wave, as Malrang's looking top here. Wunder has phase rush that he can proc in hammer form if he wants to run away.
He's just going to leap in. The knockback, phase rush proc as expected. Good chunk of damage, but not a lot more past that. Wunder holding onto his sums.
Wave's coming into him as well, so he should be pretty happy to pick that one up.
Look at bot lane again.
Biggest problem for Wunder in this lane, just as I go back to bot here. Wunder doesn't have TP, I wanted to say there. Odoamne does, so very big favor towards Odoamne here in this lane. But like you said, Betty, good bot lane again. Hylissang sweeping away the wards.
Hook hits Trymbi, not close enough to pull him over the wall. Wall a little bit too thick anyway. Just trying to get control on the bottom side here. Comp very low. They're going to fish for the dive again. The polymorph goes in. They've got the follow-up damage. The pullback is there from Upset. No traps on Hilly this time. Means an early TP from Odo that amounts to nothing.
Yeah, we talked about top TP advantage and top lane going in Odoamne's favor. There it goes. Used it bot to try to protect the play, but didn't protect anything at all. Trymbi falls regardless, and now Odoamne has to just run back top. That frees up Wunder a lot to just push out top wave and take a free base himself. So Fnatic winning out on both side lanes in that play.
They certainly are, and I think they can look for another dive again. Comp sticking around to make sure that he can catch this wave. He has been limited in terms of what he can get. Hylissang is looking for it.
Is he going to fish for the solo kill? No, just harass.
Just Hilly things.
Classic Hilly. Maybe if he knew Lulu was topside, he would probably just go for a 1v1 dive there with Halo Blade's Ignite.
It is ludicrously powerful.
Is he trying to hold the wave here and freeze it to make it so it like pushes into Fnatic, and that's exactly what we'll do. All focus at one creep right there. A little bit unlucky as it crashes towards the back line, but still should push. We'll see if Trymbi cancels him.
He's going to go for it. Stops him for now, so a bit of an advantage here.
Trymbi.
Very low. Supportal combat.
If he had Ignite, he could kill it.
Hylissang had the E, he had to kind of polymorph him before it, but I don't think he was in range. He's still going to try to cancel him with Upset
Xayah on the way in. Again, Trymbi, the flash is there, but it's a little bit too late. Upset grabs the kill.
Hylissang is the king of cancelling bases. When you think you're cancelling him, he's actually doing the one-up on you.
His brain is just too big. We do not understand the ways of Hylissang, but it does not matter because it works for Fnatic.
This man cannot miss. This is not balanced. Sonic Wave, though, goes a little bit wide. Rogue bot lane. Struggling a bit. Trymbi, that first play, he's feeling good. He polymorphs. Everything's going great. Since then, it has been downhill.
Hilly Pyke just hits different. I feel like teams should learn by now that when Hylissang is picked Pyke, you path bot, you sit bot, and you wait bot until the lane phase is over, because he's just going to carry on and continue doing things like this.
0-3 for Trymbi now. He lost his flash at level 1. The constant aggression that we have seen from Hylissang, the repeated dives we've seen on the bot lane. Rogue's bottom side has kind of been left to fend for itself, which isn't that uncharacteristic for Rogue. Malrang usually kind of paths where he wants to. He looks for opportunities where he can find them, but so far, he hasn't been able to find any. The only advantage that Rogue has in this early game is in the mid lane, where Larssen has been able to build a small CS advantage, but in the long run, Fnatic don't care. They have advantages, they know they have a strong scaling poke composition, and they're feeling very good with the current state of the game.
And what's scary right now for Rogue is not just that Trymbi's very vulnerable to dying again and again to this Pyke, but that everybody should be scared of Hylissang Pyke. This man's numbers, absolutely insane. And on top of that, once he's out of this lane, he becomes everybody's problem. It's not just a bot lane issue anymore when this man starts roaming mid.
Yeah, and it's just playstyle alone. Like I said, he's going to look for picks over side. And when Fnatic, like I said in draft, get Baron, Hylissang was not the innovator, because I don't know who started it, but split pushing on supports, on champions like Shen, on Pyke. And he's definitely going to do it if Fnatic are ahead and get that Baron. He's going to be a side lane threat in himself with this champion alone. As now he looks for some kind of dive here if the hook hits.
Of course the hook hits.
How can it even a question at this point?
Well, but now Razork actually making his way top. Odoamne likely surprised, given that the jungler often spends all the time on. But Malrang on the cross map.
Potentially an opportunity on the bottom side. Upset still has ulti up and available, but no flash, however, wants to go for the kick. They're now pulling back. Feather's going to go through. Upset going to get kicked into the team. Hylissang goes in. Upset still standing. A lot of Feathers on the ground, but I don't think he's going to be able to get anything done. Goes for the sidestep. Feathers fade away. No follow-up damage. Should be the kill, but that's the heal onto Comp. Absolutely outplayed. Overconfident from the side of Rogue. It should have been a free kill. It should have been easy. It should have been guaranteed. They will finally take him down, but at the end of the day, it's a 1-for-1.
Oh, huge clutch play there by Upset. It was such a bad play in the beginning because obviously he was going to die after the kick hit, but Rogue wanted to give the kill to Comp, so Malrang and Trymbi just kind of drifted away saying, okay, he's dead. Upset baited it so long that by the time they were running away, he uses the heal, turns and trades 1-for-1.
Yeah, that you summarized it perfectly, Caedrel. The fact that it's the classic in solo queue, you know, like, oh no, give the kill to my AD carry, and then I think no one was expecting Upset to still have the heal. So he doesn't have flash at this point. The collapse comes in, the heal early from Comp, even though he's at an HP disadvantage. Good reactions from both Hilly and Upset, but this Q onto Hilly puts Malrang in position to land the kick onto Upset, and it's at this point that Rogue think the fight is won.
Yeah, props to Upset. Sidesteps the W, Trymbi runs away after he thinks he's dead, and then he just keeps it going, just flexing his mechanics a little bit here. Lee Sin Q comes in, dodges that as well. Just basically dodges every single skill shot that Rogue throw at him. They think he's dead, but he isn't.
And the thing that's so impressive about this Fnatic bot lane is when they get a lead, they're so good at pressing it. And that single moment of miscommunication where Trymbi goes, oh, I'll go around and catch him on the other side. And Comp goes, oh, I'll walk forward and fight him. Gives Upset that single moment where it is the isolated 1v1 and he actually has an advantage instead of being in a 3v1 like he was supposed to be.
And look at this, Upset already has the Eclipse finished. We're not even 10 minutes into the game and that first major item is done. Fnatic can continue to funnel into this part of the map. They also have the Herald at their disposal, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Razork making his way down, looking to try and secure that early tower. Fnatic continuing to play towards what they are good at. Strong bot side of the map. Hilly now level 6. Now, Larssen needs to be worried about this Hylissang because kill pressure everywhere on the map has suddenly become a lot more lethal for Rogue.
Absolutely. And what was expected to be a very quiet mid lane matchup, and for the most part has been, really just a farm fest, can get blown wide open from a single Pyke gank. We expect to be watching top lane and bot lane. This has really just been a game entirely about the bottom side of the map. Nothing else has really mattered outside of those bot side plays, but as these players start to leave their lanes, we can see where the next point of focus is going to be.
Still have the Herald though, and I think Razork's been hovering bot for so long that they probably want to pop it down there. Of course, it wouldn't be a Fnatic game if they weren't playing bot side, and you have two options. Match their bot side play or get a bigger advantage somewhere else because they're going to do it and they're going to keep doing it. Humanoid might be in trouble here.
Nope. W.
W. Nope, just one letter. Not even a word.
Yeah.
W.
Nope. Doesn't need the flash. Has his go away button. Upset going to get even more money. And here's the thing that's terrifying about this, gentlemen. I know we've talked a lot about Fnatic, but it's been a very Fnatic-dominated game. Hold that thought, Razork may be in trouble now. Hylissang overstaying his welcome in the enemy jungle. Malrang not about to have it. He might be blind, but he can see Hylissang just fine.
Yeah, a little bit of extra gold there from the first strike as well. That definitely helps out. Tower doesn't completely fall. Hylissang maybe a small blunder there. Could have stayed with the team, but I think he was looking for vision solo with his ward item. Trying to get some vision on Razork. Malrang, sorry, but
trying
Malrang
to steal a red buff. That's what I think he was trying to do, my man.
Something like that, surely, right? Some kind of Krog or a Raptor. Maybe he's just trying to steal it away because he's, you know, he wants to min-max every play. We're going to get your tower, but I'm also going to get your small Raptor.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'll take that 8 gold. It's worth just to piss you off.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does end up falling. Fnatic don't quite secure that tower. They will find themselves with a 1k gold lead though. So in terms of map control, they're in a good spot. And again, like, I continue to look across the map and I'm like, where is Rogue finding these early game advantages? And the answer is not really anywhere. Comp does have a kill, which is great for him, but when you compare the gold across the 280 carries, they are very different. Malrang does have a kill as well, but that's not a big enough advantage in this early game. This ward will spot Hylissang out.
He was hovering between mid and bot. I think what he was trying to do here is stop any play happening in mid so he could protect his mid laner, but he was spotted out.
Hylissang's natural enemy, the ward. Denies flanks, reveals him on the red buff. Good hover observers. There it is.
That's why he picks Pyke, so he can go invisible.
Exactly. That said, still obviously a very Fnatic-dominated early game. When we talked about win conditions in the draft, there is a ton of poke on the side of Fnatic. This gets incredibly exacerbated when Upset is this far ahead. He's going to do so much damage with a single QE combo. It'd be massive, very hard to defend against that. And on top of that, we talked about Rogue wanting early setup because they don't have the most reliable engage. They want to get to the objectives first. We want to see exactly what they can do with it. But at the end of the day, it's going to be very hard to do when Fnatic are building this big of a lead with this much control. That said, top side of the map, Wunder getting kicked back. Sonic Wave will connect. Wunder getting the knockback, getting out to safety. Odoamne now going in with Malrang on the edge there, but will make it work.
Clean dive from the side of Rogue, finally finding some kind of play on the opposite side of the map. It'll get him a couple plates, but early game is so important for both these teams because Fnatic have so much scaling on their side with things like Corki, Jayce, Xayah, 2-3 items. They can poke them out around objectives, whereas Rogue have scaling team fights, so whichever one gets the early game advantage just gets accelerated more to the point that they want to achieve.
Certainly true. And Fnatic also doing a great job of securing all of these early objectives. They got themselves the Heralds, they have themselves the first tower, they got both Drakes in the early game. And all across the board, Fnatic is dominating in the lead. In the early game.
Dominating in the lead. We take those.
Still technically true.
Yeah.
Still technically true. That's my favorite kind of true. Now, with the important thing to note, though, is that even though Fnatic have all this control, it's still only a 1k gold gap. So Rogue aren't out of this game yet. Often when Fnatic get early leads, it feels like that there's very little that the opposition can do. But as Caedrel already mentioned, there's still a lot of scaling on the side of Rogue. While I have some concerns around their actual crowd control and team utility, the reality is they have Jinx Lulu, they have Viktor, and as long as Arcane is on the Rift, there's always a window for Rogue to turn things around.
You said it, Vedius. Viktor, Jinx, Lulu. These are probably the strongest champs you can get at 5-6 items upwards towards the late game. And Fnatic, their reliability is they should be winning side lane and they should have poke, so they shouldn't really give them a full-on 5v5. But the amount of damage these two carries can do when they get their items is absurd. So they definitely need to be very careful with very little frontline as well. Razork, yes, he'll be some kind of frontline, but yeah, the later the game goes, the more it's just going to get melted by the carries of Rogue. But for now, pretty stable game. Fnatic opting to put their bot lane mid, going some kind of 1-3-1, try to contest enemy jungle.
Well, fight for a red buff. Malrang will take it in the end. Hook goes a little bit wide there, not quite able to touch him. Now you can see Fnatic grouping in the mid lane. Feels like mid lane tower is the big priority here. The map opens up significantly once that objective is down. Maybe lets them play a bit of a 1-3-1.
I think the problem they have now is Rogue have so much wave clear, and the fact that Larssen's mid and Humanoid's bot gives them the first entrance into topside river with Herald up, so we talked about mid-tier 1 Drakos, and I think whoever has the second Herald is basically favored to get it first. See if Humanoid wants to TP in. I don't know if he uses package just yet, but he hasn't found anything just yet at all. If it's up, he can maybe base pick it up and TP in, but with Larssen basing as well, I think it's guaranteed. Odoamne can go top and catch the wave, and that's a Herald for Rogue, expecting that to go towards mid.
Fnatic, in the meantime, pushing in mid lane. What are they going to do with this brief moment of pry out? Potentially looking to collapse bot. Hylissang already on the way down. Larssen going to have to be careful on contesting this one, but it should just be a quick death ray. Clear out that wave.
Wow, Upset's level 11 right now. He has obviously been taking a lot of solo XP while playing in the 1v2 down towards bot. Hylissang has been roaming a substantial amount. You'll notice Hylissang only level 7, but he is on the roam once again. Larssen, good awareness though. The question is, will that help him?
Well, here comes the Volibear. That's going to be big damage. Instant reliable stun on the gravity field. Gonna do nothing. Maybe Razork's going to get taken down to the backside. Odoamne now throwing him into the wall. It will at least be the 1-for-1.
So the TP is good because it makes it so... Oh, might be a 1-for-2 here.
No, nowhere for him to go. Has to donate the kill to Odoamne. They're going to try to give it to Comp instead. A little bit of vengeance for the laning phase.
This time it worked out. Comp finally got the kill he wanted, but Malrang was hovering top because they were going to cross-map this top tier 1. Can he solo kill Wunder here? Wunder has no flash and he might walk up to hit the tower.
Damage?
He has a ward jump. He's looking.
He still hasn't been spotted.
And first strike, gentlemen. Don't forget about first strike.
True.
Wunder, it's very odd for him to back off in the game state. I think Malrang expects him to hit the tower because Gnar just TP'd bot, Viktor's dead, and Jinx showed on the kill, right? So 3 carries.
Is a commitment.
Yeah.
3 carries showing there, but if you look at the minimap, Rogue want to set up this top tier 1, look for a cross map, so when Wunder backed off, they TP in. Razork gets stunned up, so he can't escape the Mega Gnar that comes in, and Hylissang flashing away. He was kind of sandwiched here between Comp and Odoamne, so he had no real choice. He was going to die, so benefiting, but a good play there for Rogue, despite Fnatic being the ones to pull the trigger.
And the fact that Comp is able to pick up that kill is really important for Rogue as well. Malrang, during that replay, he stayed top, waited for Larssen to rotate out towards catching the wave.
If your man's not committed enough to sit in top lane for 2 minutes straight, get a new man. Malrang's out there. That's all I'm saying.
Just like that. Herald used top. Didn't really do much. That tower was pretty much dead by the time it hits. And Wunder's going to kill it before it hits the tier 2 anyway, but regardless, that's a tower for Rogue.
And importantly, mid lane's still standing. Both teams, neither one able to break open the enemy jungle entirely. A lot of vision already set up for Fnatic for the coming dragon. 30 seconds till that Infernal will be third at this point for Fnatic. An Infernal Soul, massive for a poke composition.
And right now, it is Fnatic that has control around the dragon, but both teams are posturing to contest for this next big objective. This isn't actually that uncommon for Rogue, especially when they play scaling comps. They're quite willing to give over the first straight, and then it's the third where they'll look to try and fight you. First major items have been completed. Of course, Fnatic with the slight edge due to their goal lead, especially in the AD carry role. But now Rogue is looking to contest. The TP comes in from Corki. Does he have the package? Yes, he does.
It's a big problem for Rogue. They can't walk in. Maybe Malrang can look for a steal. Has vision on the objective right now.
1-1. Not going to grab it.
That's sole point for Fnatic. That's so dangerous. 18 minutes in, they're on sole point for the rest of the game. Someone gets chunked out.
Big poke. Fights get bad very quickly if a single member gets taken down by the Pyke ultimate, but Rogue able to walk away. Fnatic getting the dragon relatively uncontested. Remember, it was that vision that they earned from the earlier play going awry.
Yeah, you're completely right, Drakos. They couldn't really walk in, Rogue. They pushed the mid wave, but they had no way into River, because the second they step up, I mean, there's a Jayce QE, there's Xayah QEs, there's a Corki package running around with big rockets, so anything that hits, they basically have the back, and it's only really going to get worse from now onwards. I mean, when Humanoid picks up 2 or 3 items, his rockets are going to do even more damage, so I feel like the next dragon, if Fnatic get control of it, it's pretty much guaranteed for them. Rogue still have to look for a steal. They don't really have anything that can force a fight, like you said, Vedius. In draft, they don't really have any hard engage.
It comes back to what we were talking about when being first on the objective, right? Because if you have to face check all this poke, like, who's going to do it? Odoamne? Well, he literally just lost half his HP the last time he tried to face check that Corki, and right now he's itemizing a lot of armor, and Corki doesn't care about that. A single big rocket to the face, and your front line has now become a back line as he's forced to disengage from the fight.
Yeah, and there's different counters to different comps, quote-unquote, right? A big team fight comp, what could counter that? Well, you could go for something like a 1-3-1 comp to split them up and pick them off around the map. A poke comp, what counters that? Well, hard engage, you know? Something that can just dive in, and Ornn Leona, something, a Rakan that can just go in and catch you off before you can get any damage down. So we'll see how Rogue dissect the map when the dragon spawns. Maybe Malrang has to go for some crazy positioning around the back of Fnatic's jungle, try to get a kick before they can set up the objective. Odoamne and the Mega Gnar, some kind of TP flank, might be what they need to look for.
I will say, as the game slows down just a little bit, I will be keeping my eyes on these 2 mid laners, because this is usually where we focus them. As we get later on into the game, their scaling is going to be the most important part. Obviously, in the early game, it wasn't the most explosive, but Larssen versus Humanoid, a rivalry that is becoming one of the most prominent here in Europe. The fact that they've fought so many times, the head-to-head is 15-15. The rivalry that's like kind of flown under the radar. This is actually one of our most matched up mid laners that we have here in Europe.
Coming to the league, it was our most matchup, which is insane because you think about Perk's Caps, you think about all the iconic rivalries of the past, Ocelot x Pyke. This is it right here. This is the LEC rivalry that has continued for so long, and these are 2 guys who came in to the league at the same time. Very different trajectories. For Larssen's trajectory might be 6 feet under, because here comes Razork. Big ulti to deny the gravity field's done for now. Pyke going in for the reset, a bit extra money for Fnatic. Malrang just gonna be forced to run away. Razork relatively low. Rogue still staying around.
Do Fnatic want to go for a Baron? It would be risky. In the game state they have right now, they don't have to take that risk. They can push in mid, hit mid tower. They can push in top, hit top tower. There's a lot of standing gold for them. I think going for Baron there would be a bit too aggressive of a play. I mean, too much risk involved. 4v5 at 20 minutes, not too much Nash damage on Xayah Corki. Not the best setup, a little bit of vision, yes, but Odoamne can TP in. You don't know where their topside vision is, but still a good pick for Fnatic. And Larssen with no flash on the next dragon is going to be very painful.
That's exactly it. I think the biggest win here for Fnatic is the fact that they got his flash ahead of the next Drake, because we know that Rogue is going to fight them. It is that sole point. It is something that Rogue have to try and contest, and like they can only rely on those scaling or like waiting for those core itemizations for so long before they have to commit to a fight. And the fact that Larssen won't have that extra safety tool means a lot more responsibility will fall on him to dodge this poke out so that he can be healthy enough to contribute to the fight.
Now that mid-tier 1 has finally fallen, that much easier to get control of the pit. That much easier for Fnatic to get priority in the mid lane. Because remember, Upset still 2 items, 2.5 items, clears this wave so incredibly quickly on this lethality Xayah, and it is still a death sentence for Rogue to face check into Fog of War against the poke composition from Fnatic.
Yeah, Rogue just needs to group up. Odoamne keeps catching these side lanes. I think at one point he's just going to have to push in a wave and just group with his team, force their way into one side. A lot of the times when you see objective contests, whether it's Baron or Dragon, Hylissang's going... He sees Larssen with no flash. Held my breath for a second there, but when you see objective fights, you kind of had like a battle line drawn where one team's coming through bot where they have a bot wave pushed in and they have vision. One team's coming through mid where they have a mid wave and they have vision. So Rogue need to pick a side. Odoamne picking up the Renwins now. So I think this is basically where Rogue just need to catch this top wave. Larssen TP in towards mid, contest the wave and get in there, because if they don't, it's basically just gone.
Humanoid's Corki is basically online at this point. 244 CS at 22 minutes means that he has a 250 gold bounty.
Pretty big.
That Rogue want to kill. The question is, can they do it? We've seen how lethal this late game Corki can be. And Fnatic have all the scaling tools. But now the mid contest begins. Both teams looking to control this river. Rogue has the push in bot. Viktor is rotating down. Rogue will be able to get the push, but it's Fnatic to control the river for now.
Important to note, Humanoid doesn't have package. Of course, it's a 6-minute cooldown now and Dragon is 5. So the second that died and he used the package, he doesn't have it for this one. Now Rogue contesting the vision. Razork trying to poke them away, get some vision with his own E. Upset forcing his way. Now Malrang is looking for that flank that we talked about. He needs to find some kind of engage from the side. Odoamne very close to Gnar.
Malrang and Odo, the two sources of engage. Malrang in the darkness, he has not been spotted. Odo still in Mega. If this times out, they can instantly start a fight. Odo not going to get pulled back, waiting.
Oh, Hilly.
It's a brief window.
Great
Second
read.
Odo turns mini, this fight is entirely gone. Razork knocked back. They now have 15 seconds before he can start stacking Rage again. Fnatic immediately start pushing into the river once they see the engage option is gone. Malrang going for the flank, but he's taken maybe a bit too long.
Patience is a virtue. Fnatic just waiting out the Gnar, waiting out the
Look at
ult
the
there.
poke.
So Lulu will so much poke, keeps on landing. Fnatic don't want to fight, they want to keep you at arm's length, not let you engage, and Rogue are struggling.
Odoamne caught in the pit. Odoamne taken out before the fight even begins. Humanoid throwing out rockets, and Rogue, they can just not find an ankle again. They have to cross their fingers and pray that Malrang can maybe find a way to steal this. Rocket from Comp there as well. They're going to throw it in. They're going to try everything they've got to shut down on the Pyke with the Dragon, the Infernal Soul to the side of Fnatic.
And it's perfect patient play from Fnatic. They leverage their poke beautifully. They don't give Rogue any window to engage. Really smart play from Hylissang to ward the flank. Potential for Malrang to come in from behind them. They also waited for Odoamne to throw out his ultimate, and you can see how difficult it is with a limited hard engage that Rogue actually have to start a fight, and Fnatic's just keeping them at a distance.
You can see the frustration from Odoamne. A couple seconds left, and the Gnar just jumps and ults a bush that he doesn't even have vision on. He just thought maybe there's someone in there. Turns out there wasn't. Malrang gets spotted by Hylissang's spidey senses, and then yeah, it's just over from here. Odoamne is saying to guys, we have to force this. We can't just back off. It's gone otherwise, and his team's leaving him. Larssen trying to base in TP. Comp can't even get into the river for God's sake. So Odoamne just dies for no reason, saying, guys, we're giving this up. We have to do something. Hylissang steps forward and ends up losing his life. Shut down over to Comp, but Infernal Soul to Fnatic.
Ooh. And tragically, Hylissang leaps back into Upset, into the rocket that kills him. So that is the only silver lining, sadly, to this cloud for Rogue, as an Infernal Soul is going to be very problematic in the hands of a Corki, a Xayah, and a Jayce. Fnatic now, it feels like walking a victory lap. Yes, it's only a 3K gold lead, but it is so hard for Rogue to force these fights. We talked about it in the draft. We're seeing it take place. Gnar, incredibly telegraphed. If they ward out the Lee Sin flank, there is no way for Rogue to walk into Fnatic ever.
Yeah, they have enough disengage, right? The Corki's mobile in itself. The Jayce has speed, can run away. The Volibear can peel. Upset has ult on the Xayah. A little bit of cross map coming in here. I don't think he's going to get that TP off. Wunder can cancel him in Hammerfall.
Over, Odoamne. Running for the hills, a little bit extra movement speed going to come in here for Odoamne, throwing down the rain. One's slow as well, but Razork on the way. Feels like just a matter of time before Odoamne will fall. They're barreling down to the bottom side. Going to go in with the stun and finish that one off.
Feels like this game is done, boys. The draft, we already talked so much about it and how Fnatic not only have this range advantage, but they've played it perfectly from start to finish. They leverage their strong 2v2 in the bot side of the map. They constantly attack the bot side of the map, and they are reading every single play that Rogue have tried to make, limiting their ability to find anything. In terms of kills, yes, Rogue have been able to match. They've been able to find a bunch of picks, in particular onto Hylissang, but that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Fnatic have controlled the game from start to finish, and now they set up the Baron with no Odoamne there to contest.
One ward to spot out the fact that they're on it. The thing is, Humanoid has package. How the hell do you walk in? Fnatic just looking at every single bush possible. It's going down so quickly. Malrang just has to jump in. He's just going to die if he does it, though. That's the problem. Maybe a rocket can steal it.
Maybe. Not quite.
Very, very close. And If you think back to the Rogue Misfits series, talking about playmaking, it was Rogue and Malrang who was letting Misfits do everything, do all the plays, and they would just answer them, get good responses, counter the dives, get kill advantages every single time they tried to make a play, and they were just taking it easy. And now it feels like Rogue are the ones throwing everything at Fnatic, and the Fnatic are the ones just taking it easy.
Yeah, Fnatic, they... Really clever draft, really good response, and overall very impressive play. And obviously, based on the regular season, many people said that Fnatic is the strongest team. You know, even though Rogue finished at the end first, Fnatic actually finishing second, a lot of people still touted Fnatic as being the favorites to win it all. And while there was some skepticism based on their G2 series, they still looked pretty dominant, pretty convincing. But they were like, well, okay, Humanoid always got his LeBlanc, you know, and like he's still, you know, Fnatic kind of got what they wanted. It was more like G2 not playing as well, but I think again, Fnatic continuing to demonstrate why they are still considered one of the favorites to win the whole thing.
And this is so massive for them because when we look at the Rogue series as well, Rogue did not feel as tested by Misfits maybe as we expected them to be, or even would want them to be in a playoffs best of 5. Fnatic was chaotic, but they only had to show us LeBlanc every single game this time around. We're getting to see new things and some old things. Hylissang dying, definitely a classic, but at what cost? As top tower looks like it's set to break.
Hilly was split pushing on Pyke. Why you gotta do him like that? They just go for the 2-man and kill him. Now he has no Baron buff. Now he can't split push on Pyke, but Fnatic Siege is so strong with the amount of poke they have. 2 cannons. Rogue have enough wave clear to hold on for now, though.
Gonna hold the line. Larssen and Comp is enough wave clear to protect that tower. You can see the Rogue is just doing what they can to get something back on the map. By attacking the split pusher, they limit the number of threats on the map that are attacking the base of Rogue. But of course, it does cost them a tier 2 tower. Fnatic still in a good position.
Definitely are. And as much as we say the game is over because of the game state, Fnatic, I think the reason a lot of people thought they were shaking coming into playoffs is maybe one of their games against Misfits that was very recent towards the end of the split, where they had a huge lead on Akali. Humanoid was popping off. It looked so great. They were winning every fight. Misfits win a team fight. They get a Baron, and then slowly they're starting to end the game. And Fnatic lose, so needed to clean up their mid to late game. And for now, looks pretty crisp. Kills are even, of course, but the macro game has been in their favor so far with the Infernal Soul and with the Baron, which is about to run out in about 45 seconds. Couple more waves to play on. Humanoid regrouping with the team.
And while this tier 2 will fall, important to remember we talked about the scaling on the side of Rogue. Yes, they're very far away from a lot of those big item breakpoints. There's 3 items, but one of them's not an IE for the Jinx, so we're still waiting there. And yes, Fnatic do have an Infernal Soul, but that said, the later we go, certainly the stronger the Lulu's going to feel, and the worse the Pyke is going to feel. Yes, he has a hook, but he stays squishy the entire game, which is why Malrang can just one-shot him so effortlessly.
Small mistakes coming out here from Fnatic. Hylissang getting caught in bot, now getting caught once again on the Siege, which just makes it so Rogue have more time to work with. Still a big gold lead, still have an Infernal Soul, but Rogue can scale. We talked about the carries of Viktor and Jinx being so powerful if they get items, and Jinx Lulu is very deadly if Fnatic overcommit. I think they're getting a little bit too excited here on these waves.
So you can see the hook does come through from Hylissang. He then pops his dash to get away to safety, but the slow does apply, which makes it very easy for Malrang to come in from the flank, get that pick off, and then Fnatic, without the support, feel, okay, now we're at a numbers disadvantage, we need to disengage. But the only way they're going to break into the base is leveraging their poke. But with the Elder now spawning, they have the push in mid, they don't have it in bot, and it's Rogue first in the river.
We know what an Elder can do to a game. Rogue have control, like you said, Vedius. Now Fnatic are the ones who have to walk in. Poke is a little bit harder to land. Rogue just want to 50-50. They want to start this, they want to flip it, and if they get it, maybe they can win the game.
Gnar up and available. Fnatic have to be careful on this one. Yes, Upset has the ultimate. They're grouped up in the pit. But now Odoamne stepping in. He's going to knock 2 people away. He just wants the objective. He does not care about anything else. Who's going to get the smite in the end? It's going to be Larssen taking it down. The Elder may be enough to turn this. Malrang going gold, and Larssen's still in the pit. The ulti. Not going to finish the job quite yet. They're backing away. Rogue managed to take the objective, but here comes the rocket. 20% HP. Ooh, clean flash.
Reaction times from Upset. Fnatic look very vulnerable now, and they're going to have an Elder for a couple of minutes. Rogue all back off. They all have the buff. They need to force something now.
A great decision from Rogue, because that is exactly what you said it was, Caedrel, a flip, right? You have to just do something, otherwise you're going to lose this game. And so Rogue abandon the waves. They rush towards the Drake, and Odoamne even commits his ultimate to just buying time for his team.
And he almost died trying, right? Just wants to shove Razork the hell away, make sure they can finish this dragon a little bit early maybe, but there's so many members of Rogue that Larssen is the one that ends up getting it. All of Fnatic disperse, flash away, looking so vulnerable, disengaging, saying, guys, we have to back off. And yes, it's powerful to get an Infernal Soul so early. Yes, it's powerful to get an Infernal Soul at 23 minutes in the game, but that unlocks an Elder at 28, 29 minutes, and if that flip goes in Rogue's favor, all of a sudden the tides turn, and for now, 1 minute 30 seconds with this buff, they own the map.
They own the map. They're about to get another objective bounty. The gold's going to start to swing slowly back to even. Yes, Rogue are still at a deficit, but we're getting later and later. Again, the scaling point comes up. Fnatic had a commanding lead. They were in absolute control in the early game, but when they're not able to push that, when they're not able to end the game, when they're not able to go for the throat, Rogue are a team that consistently can find a way back.
What I will say is that this Elder will last long enough for the Baron to spawn, which will give Rogue the ability to contest and control the topside river and then set up for that Baron play. If they get that as well, the gold in their back pocket and the Baron buff itself will give them a window back into this game. I felt like that this game was done and dusted. Props to Larssen and Comp for being able to hold the base towers so that Fnatic couldn't actually get an inhibitor, and then that decision-making to rush towards the Elder caught Fnatic off guard, and now Rogue still have a chance in game 1.
Yeah, here they come, barreling down mid. Good discipline from Fnatic so far, not to overextend into them. Of course, backing away from the fight initially, and now just kind of keeping them at arm's length once again. Waves pushed in, Rogue gonna contest this one now. Odoamne's basing, maybe he has GA or something in base that can help him out in these team fights. He has TP as well. 20 seconds left on this buff.
Importantly, no flash on Upset, no flash on Humanoid, no flash on Razork. A lot of key summoners missing. Larssen, Comp both have theirs. Malrang as well for the potential setup. Rogue trying to move into the Fog of War, but you can see how careful, how slowly they're playing this. They know any bush could be a death trap, so they are taking their time, focusing on mid-prio before they push in for this Baron vision.
Round 2 is coming. This mid wave will decide it. Rogue want to push it in, move into river, and maybe force the Nash themselves, but Humanoid has package and wants to land some poke.
That's a scary package.
Comp playing so aggressive right now, has the Bloodthirst as a lifesteal through it.
Stepping forward. Odoamne trying to keep the Fury bar close to full so he can get things kicked off with an ultimate if he needs to. Doesn't want to overstack it and let it fade away like it did in the 4th Dragon fight.
Humanoid pushing Malrang away, who was looking for some kind of fancy flank there. Still have the package for a couple more seconds, maybe 20 more seconds. They're going to force it themselves.
Oh,
I think Hylissang is going to be the deadly one, laying in wait, looking for a hook himself.
Moving back. Again, Rogue slowly but surely pushing forward, taking a lot of poke. Humanoid, big rocket. Going to go in.
For the steal, it looks
Mega.
like.
They can try to steal it over the wall. Lee Sin doesn't connect the Q onto the objective, however. Has to be ready to ward hop. Who's going to get it? Are they just going to 50-50 it? Again, is this what it's come to? Jungler versus jungler, but Razork getting chunked down to the pit. Now Malrang trying to finish the job. That's going to be the healing coming down. Hylissang now going for the hook. They're going to try to just secure the objective, but instead Fnatic focusing on the fight. Who's going to get it? It's Malrang able to take away the Baron. They've taken down another kill as well, but Upset waiting for Odoamne to come out. That is Hylissang grabbing the kill with the Pyke. Rogue pushed back, but they've got 4 members strong with the Baron.
Yeah, all of them have the Baron. They do another switcheroo, just take the objective and get out. Now they're the ones running for the hills, and they're going to keep this until the Elder Dragon spawns. So they just keep kind of playing a game of tennis with these big neutral objectives, running Fnatic around the map. And I mean, Fnatic just overforcing there a bit with the package. We're very indecisive. Do we finish? Do we turn? Do we finish? Do we turn? Wait for poke, wait for hooks. Nothing was landing. And in the end, Rogue come out on top.
That's the crucial thing. This poke, keep an eye on where it's actually going. Larssen's still healthy. Comp's still healthy. That Banshee's soaking up the initial burst from the big rocket as well. And Fnatic's getting hesitant. Razork gets lower and lower. He gets forced off the fight. And then it becomes a flip situation for Rogue. They're happy to take the gamble because of the situation that they find themselves in, and it's Rogue that secures the Baron.
And it's Fnatic being hesitant when Rogue decides to strike once again. First around the Elder, now around the Baron. Fnatic need to clean up, make one call. They can turn there. They can go for some engage with Corki packaging in if a rocket hits, or a Jayce Q, or Hylissang could lie in wait in vision, kind of in Fog of War looking for hooks himself, but they wanted to finish, they didn't, and now they find themselves against the Baron buff up. Rogue, they still have the Infernal Soul. Yes, the gold has kind of evened up, but look at Comp's items. He just finished an Infinity Edge.
You know, I often think of this as like a mentality thing, because I've played a bunch of Clash with you, Caedrel, and I know that when we're in a deficit, your brain is like, just flip it, and like, Rogue have been on the back foot this entire game, so it feels like that they've just been, it doesn't matter, just try. We have to do something, otherwise we're going to lose the game, and so far, these flips are always coming out ahead.
Yeah, it's the difference between playing to lose and playing to win. Sometimes you just have to take a risk. You'll look stupid if you end up losing the flip and you lose faster, but at least it gives you a small chance to claw your way back in, and that's exactly what Rogue have done. Poke just hitting Comp so powerfully, but he has Bloodthirst, so should be able to lifesteal up. 45 seconds on the next Elder Dragon.
Oh, look at Malrang.
Where Malrang is. He has no flash. Humanoid won't have package for this objective.
Stepping in, Larssen, no flash this time around. Has to be careful. Upset with the summoners up. Humanoid with the summoners up for this potential fight. No package is big, as highlighted before. Odoamne Mega, maybe they can just try to force the objective. Still 27 seconds, should have enough time to get back into Mega.
Oh!
Damage is
That's
big.
the window.
Hylissang now stepping forward. Humanoid locked down. Ghost Golden gets himself a brief moment. Odoamne gonna get taken down. This is Fnatic's fight. This is Fnatic's chance, but keep your eyes on Comp and Larssen. Can they get the damage down? No, they're being zoned away. Neither side losing a member quite yet. There's the GA. Hylissang waiting. Looking if he can see an opportunity. Rogue pushed back 6 seconds till the objective. Rogue have to find a way back into the area, but it's just so hard against Fnatic.
TP coming in, poke lands once again. Rogue chunked out here. It's all in the back of Comp. He's the highest HP up. He's the one who's gonna have to face check, but no, they're giving it. They're just gonna push mid. They know this Elder. There's no chance whatsoever of face checking into that poke, and they're gonna go for the push.
Odoamne so low, Malrang so low, and now the enemy team has an Elder. They need to get the hell out. Malrang waiting in the brush.
Ooh.
Shock Blast not going to connect. They will be able to retreat, so they are able to grab a tier 2 in exchange for the Elder, but now it is Fnatic in control for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, now Rogue are the ones who have to play discipline, but I think Fnatic aren't going to give a Monkeys 2 minutes on this Elder Dragon. They're just going to go for dives. They have a Volibear, they have a Pyke. Anything that hits one Corki rocket could be the end of any of the carries of Rogue, so they're just going to group it up and play these couple of minutes just going for full sieges.
Props to Humanoid, yet to die in this game. When he W'd forward, I thought that he had thrown the team fight, but he had the stopwatch available. He knew what he was doing. Malrang now could be in danger. He doesn't know.
Hylissang walking in. Still a very squishy Pyke, however. Malrang just going to go for the kick away.
Here comes the siege.
And Fnatic, they're not hesitating. They know that this is their window to strike. They know that they're stronger. Forget about the side waves. Just stack and push, stack and push. You need to break into the base of Rogue to be able to secure this one. And you've got to leverage the fact that you have the Elder. The burn damage, the poke damage is ruthless from Fnatic. They just need it to land.
That Shock Blast going big, or going wide, is actually pretty big. Everyone that connects means it's that much harder for Rogue to contest. They're able to clear this wave. Another wave coming in the mid lane pretty far away. It's this bot wave that they have to play for if they want to make use of this advantage.
Oh, Fnatic need to step up. They need to stop Larssen from clearing these waves. Maybe just force a full-on dive.
Razork stepping forward, just wants to zone away from the tower, though. Does not have to overcommit. Not risking getting the Jinx excited. Hylissang pulling back on Odoamne. He's tanky enough to walk away from this one.
1 minute left on the buff. That's an inhibitor. They can't go for more. They can't siege a Nexus just yet. It's 2. They don't have a Baron. They don't have a wave. They really can't afford to step up that far. It's damage mitigation here for Rogue. What else can they stop? What else can they stop Fnatic from being able to take? Yeah, stopping bases helps as well because it slows down the tempo, the pace of the map. 40 seconds left on this buff. Fnatic aren't done. One wants the base
again.
and TP mid. Malrang just keeps looking for these flanks. Blue Orb spots him though.
Committed. Malrang now on the run. That's the ward hop. He's out of tools. He can kick him back. Unstoppable for now. Malrang waiting. Now going to finally use the kick. Hook over the wall will go a little bit wide. Malrang, it is an escape, but it does cost him his flash.
Buy some time. Fnatic now on mid-wave. Larssen has cleared it though, so that bait, that kind of chase onto Malrang has bought them time, stopped them from being able to play on another wave. Only 15 seconds left.
Trymbi's flash now also gone. That's support and jungle flash down for the next potential fight. A minute until that Baron. Feels like so many of these objectives should have been the death sentence for Rogue, but they keep holding on. They are still standing. That said, the base finally going to get broken open here. Already one inhibitor down on the bottom side. Mid lane now wide open as well.
Fnatic, they stay strong. Their poke lands, and they're able to punish Malrang. They've done a pretty good job of keeping track of his flanks. They've done a great job of limiting his ability to find that incredible kick that could win the team fight for Rogue. And because of that consistent damage, because Rogue was split up, that wall that they had was broken, the bases has fallen apart and Fnatic regained control over the map.
Round 3 coming in soon. 20 seconds on this Baron. Malrang again looking for some kind of sneaky positioning. We'll see if Razork decides to path that way after his Krugs, because Malrang's going to run around and loop around this top wave. Try to find some kind of pick. Razork, will he see him? No, he just gives up the Krug, doesn't see the small one running either, so now Malrang is lying in wait. Fnatic barreling towards his Baron. Rogue have some kind of setup. Larssen needs to clear these bot waves though. He will TP in soon. Humanoid once again with the package, but it's eyes on Malrang. Can he find a kick? Upset has Edge of Night, so it's so difficult to find him. Humanoid has package. It's really, really hard for him to find a single target.
Oh, difficult. Eyes on Malrang for the flank. That's the big source of engage. Trymbi already getting chunked out.
They don't know where Malrang is.
Where is he? Here he is.
Hylissang should be an easy kill pickup. They're going to kick him out. Gets the package, the one shot. They can lay down the traps. He's going to be trying to be unstoppable as soon as he gets out. Can they time the CC flawlessly? No, he's still going to escape. The rocket, not quite enough. Humanoid with a sliver of life. There's the rocket.
Oh my god!
Rogue have to force, they have to force, they have to force this Baron. No TP on Humanoid, no package, he has to run from base. It's a 4v5 for the next 15-20 seconds.
Big shock blast. Upset has the ultimate, but Rogue have control of the pit. Another objective bounty waiting for them. Infernal Soul, is it going to be enough? Upset, getting aggressive, stepping forward, says you are not allowed into that pit, but there's a response from Larssen. Big damage onto Wunder, ticking towards him, and he burns down. Colm's still alive. Now it's Razork to the backside, but he doesn't have enough damage. He's healing through the Bloodthirster. That was not the right call, Razork.
They have to run away though. Humanoid's back. He has so much damage. Odoamne can TP back in. So if Comp can lifesteal and Odoamne can TP back in, they can fight this. But Humanoid, rocket lands!
The rocket lands. Trymbi now running. And there's Hylissang in the darkness waiting, finding the resets. He sees the opportunity. Odoamne coming in with the TP, but he's just a mini Gnar. The kickback, the shutdown. It's massive. Upset now moving. Now to finish off. It's personal from the Schalke days. You can tell he wants it more than anything, and he's going to find it. 2 members standing, and it's Rogue up in the end.
Unbelievable team fight from Rogue. So many members did so many crazy things, but Malrang back-to-back kicks onto Humanoid will win the fight for Rogue.
Can they do this, Baron? This is really awkward. Larssen has to wait for his shield every time he walks up. TPs aren't up for Fnatic. It's going to get on so slowly. The wave is in their base. 20 seconds. Larssen needs to be so careful. Odoamne has to solo the Baron. This is so awkward. Elders in 50 seconds. They have to back away. They have to reset, regain some control while Fnatic's still dead.
That was Larssen's ultimate as well. Can we observe this? It's 46 seconds. The Elder will be up in 40. But the Baron, I wonder if Fnatic's just going to rush towards it. No, they won't. All members of Rogue are still alive. But let's look at this play from Malrang. The brilliance of sitting in that bush for so long paid off.
League of Legends is a game of damn inches. You saw it right here. The kick lands onto a target with package. Out of nowhere, Malrang finds a super play. And then this rocket. If this was a crit, he's dead. The game's basically over. They're going to get Baron and control the map. He gets the TP back in. The rocket from Comp misses, and the fight continues from there.
So, look at the damage that comes out from Larssen in this next set of engagements, because Fnatic's still trying to leverage their poke. The Baron is going down so slowly because Comp just can't hit onto it. And so Upset playing so aggressively because he knows that the focus from Rogue is on the Baron. But look at that damage on the bottom, immediately onto Wunder. And then Comp, he doesn't care, he just gets that kill, but we have to come back to the game. We don't get to see the other kick. You can look at it at the analyst desk later, but again, the Herald fight starts.
Fight after fight, you can hear the bell ring, but it's Fnatic who strike first blow. This time around, Larssen chunked out and knocked out of the fight. Elder sent to fall. Malrang is going two back-to-back miracle kicks, but he will not go for the steal. He will not risk it. Instead, they're looking to trade it for the Baron. They're looking to force Fnatic to fight into the... They're ready. They're waiting. Maybe.
Do they have the damage? Can they take this down in time? Hylissang's just gonna go in. The Baron should die, but will Rogue get out? No way. Going
over the wall, not gonna steal it. That's the objective bounty as well as the Baron. Razork stepping forward. Both sides trading objective for objective.
They're cornered right now. Fnatic aren't done. Does Rogue want to stay? They have an Elder Dragon. What is Rogue's decision? Because Fnatic just want to fight Odoamne.
Rogue waiting. They need to find a way out of this one. They got 4-second recall timers. Malrang just kicking for the recall.
He's TPing back in.
The TP back in. I'm not so sure about this one. He's just about to get popped. Big damage on the Larssen. Oh, that TP sucked. Rogue.
The TP in the base. They're getting off the end.
Humanoid not pushing.
Look at the base. Look at the base.
There's nothing that they can do. They're getting hurted. They have no way to return. But Malrang, hero plays. Not enough this time around. This time, Humanoid can see him coming. No one can finish their recalls. All of Fnatic descending upon Rogue like a pack of wolves. But no, Humanoid taken down. Odoamne makes it out, and we're still going.
Can they end? Fnatic's just going to run it down. 3 members of Rogue are down. They're going to lose the Nexus Tower. Open base. It's the last stand. Elder Dragon's still up.
This has to be the game. 4 members are alive for Fnatic. The TP is coming through from Wunder. It was a very solid early game from Fnatic. The mid game went toe-to-toe, but it will be Fnatic drawing first blood in the best of 5.
There it is, Razork, but the focus is there. 1-0 for Fnatic, back and forth. Early game dominance did not guarantee the win, but the proficiency in those final fights, despite the kicks from Malrang, the damage, the poke, the Infernal Soul was just too much.
Oh, that's not a game to be proud of if you're Fnatic, because that was pretty much in the bag in the first 25 minutes. The fact that Rogue held on for so long, I think they can leave the stage with their heads held high in this series, because that's only game 1. There's a lot more of that to come.
The thing is, you could tell in that final fight, Rogue was like, this could be a good fight for us. Because Razork was slightly separated from the rest of his team, so they were thinking, you know what, we'll make it. And I understand why Larssen made that TP. The team made the decision to fight, but the moment he TPs, Rogue is like, we've got to back off, we have to disengage, and then he basically gets left for the Wolves. So like, I want to defend Larssen there because you could tell it was a team decision for him to TP back in.
And you have to imagine a game where they just back all of them in a bush, top lane, they all back and they just clear waves and they just hold the siege again with Baron creeps.
When he starts that TP, he's saving his team's life by TPing in to help a fight. When he ends that TP, he's griefing. And sometimes that's just League of Legends. That space of 4 seconds, a lot can change. That said, after the back and forth game, Fnatic are reigning supreme. They're going to move to 1-0 in this series as we head to break.
That was game 1.
It's what the hell?
Even the biggest champ needs a break.